this lesson, we're going to look at division and sharing. Let's remember that when we divide, we're using an operation to find the number in each group or the number of equal groups. Today, we're going to be finding the number in each group, and we're going to use models of base 10 blocks to help us do that, because we're going to be working with some bigger numbers today than we have already. So let's start with this problem. Pause the video, write this division sentence in your notebook, and then draw 4 groups. They can either be boxes or circles. What we're going to do is we're going to divide 58 using images of place value blocks into these 4 groups. Now I know since I have 50, I'm able to put 4 10s into my boxes, or 1 10 in each box. So I have 10, 20, 30, 40. I also know that I cannot put another 10 in each box because I've already used 40 and my dividend is only 58. At this point, I need to divide by ones. Divide my ones into my 4 groups. So right now I have 40 in my boxes. I can separate my ones. It's 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48 until I get to 58. 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. I'm at 56. I know I don't have 4 more to put 1 in each group, so I'm going to have 2 left over, 57, 58. To find my answer, I look at what I put in one box plus a remainder if I have one. So I know that 58 divided into 4 equal groups means that each group will have 14 and there will be a remainder of 2. And I got my 14 because here's my 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And I can check this with multiplication easily. 14 times 4, because I do my quotient and my divisor, will give me 56. And then I add my remainder. And that will give me 58, which should match my dividend. So 58 divided by 4 is 14, remainder 2. Let's try another one. Write down this in your notebook and draw the 4 boxes or circles to divide into. I know that looking at 125 divided by 4, I'm going to be able to put several 10s in each box to get to 125. So let's start putting 10s in each box. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. Also, some of you may have realized that 120 divided by 4 is 30, and you could have put 3 10s in each box right from the beginning. Now I have 5 left over, because so far I have 120, and I need to get to 125. So I can only put 1 1 in each of these boxes. That gives me 124, and I have 1 left over, which would give me 125. So when I solve 125 divided by 4, I look at one box to see how many would be in each of the 4 groups, and I see my answer is 31 with a remainder of 1. Why don't you pause the video and use multiplication to check that. You should have gotten 125. Okay, if we look at this one, 246 divided by 2, we're going to be splitting 246 into 2 groups. Pause the video, put this in your notebook. Looking at this problem, I know I'm not going to have a remainder because my dividend is even, and if I have an even number, I can split it between 2 groups without any remainder. I also notice I have 200, and I'm splitting 200s into 2 groups. That means I can put 100 block in each of my groups. I'm going to write down over here what I've used already so I can make sure that I don't go over my 246. Okay, now I want to split my 40 into 2 groups. So moving on to my tens. Well, I know I can put 2 tens in each group because I have 4 tens and 2 groups. So that group gets 2 tens, that gets 2 tens. So far I've put 240 into my 2 groups. And now I need to split my 6 ones. Well, 6 ones in 2 groups is easy. That's just going to be 3 ones in each group with no remainder. And if I look over here, I've put 240 and 6 in there, which gives me my dividend. So that's how I know I don't have any remainders. To find my quotient, I look at one of the boxes. I see I have 100, 2 tens, and 3 ones. So my answer is 123. Let's do one more together, and then you can try some on your own. 252 divided by 3. Pause the video and write that and draw that into your notebook. I know I can't do hundreds because I only have 200 and I have 3 groups, so I can't put 100 in each group. So I'm going to start with dividing tens. And I know I can put a lot of tens in each group because I have 250. So let's start counting. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240. I know I'm going to write that down so I don't forget how many I put in so far. I know I can't do another 10 because I have to give equally to each group. So I'm at 240, and I'm just going to divide my ones until I get to 252. So 240, 41, 242, 243, 244, 245, 246, 247, 248, 249, 250, 251, 252. So I can see that I don't have a remainder because my 252 went perfectly in those three circles. Okay, so I'm going to look at one circle, count up how many I have, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and then my 4 ones. So 252 divided by 3 is 84. I can check that with multiplication quickly. 252, which matches my dividend. Always check with multiplication. It's going to make sure that you get your answers right. Okay, why don't you pause the video, solve these two on your own, and then play the video to see how you do. Your answer should be 101 remainder 3 and 49 remainder 1. Great job!